yesterday, I'm gonna yap a little bit about yesterday's events before I get into the stream, get into playing. Let me multiply these PGs too while we're at it. So yeah, sorry about the shoddy camera work yesterday.
Flashback.
Sorry for my camera, everyone. I cannot help it.
End of flashback.
I don't play VR ever. I probably have like less than 10 hours total of VR chat, and I've never streamed it before. And then what I noticed is that the camera, you know, people have the smooth cameras because they have normal walking. I didn't know that the camera moves with your walking style option, which is why you could see like the line. I did the walking that was you know, the less motion sick option, because when I used the other option before, my head hurt. So I didn't use it, and that's why I used the one where you teleport to the location, you point where you want to go. So I used that, but I didn't know that's what it looks like when you're in camera mode. So the camera was just like teleporting everywhere. I was like, wow, well, I can't really change this right now, and unless I like had a static camera position. And then it's also really difficult to move the camera around with my really large hands. If you could see my POV, I was trying to look at stuff, and my very big clubbing hands were so large. And I was trying to grab things like, oh my god, my hands are gigantic! I could have probably just done like a POV of what I was looking at, but I was also scared knowing that I don't know anything about VR chat. And then I was like, what if I dock something? Even though technically it shouldn't, because it's just showing the menus of VR chat. But what if I showed the menus of VR chat and I showed something I wasn't supposed to? So I ended up not streaming my game capture just because I was scared. So the entire thing was just me struggling with trying to move the camera around, and it was okay. It was okay-ish. Everything before leading up into the stream, oh my god, I was having a moment. I was literally like, I was freaking it. I was I was in call with Cece, and she was giving me emotional support because I was like straight up freaking it. And it was because we had to get into like call early to make sure things were working. But so I was trying to get into VR, and then when I was trying to get into VR, I was getting everything set up. I tested it the night before also, and testing it the night before was it was perfectly fine. Everything worked. I recorded it, and I was like, okay, it looks good. I will have no problems going into it tomorrow. And then the next day, I get my VR working. I get my VR headset, all my equipment, it's all going. I open VR chat, and then everything explodes. Like, my GPU starts spinning the fans at maximum. It's never done that before, just max spinning the fans. My monitors like shut off completely, and then I was just like sitting here. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I forced restarted my computer. I turned my computer back on, and then suddenly my second monitor isn't working because I don't know what happened. But I literally don't know what happened. I updated the drivers. I went and made sure my GPU was updated, and then I fixed my monitor by moving I changed where I put the HDMI cable, and then I fixed it, and then suddenly I had to restart my computer because I updated my VR headset drivers, and I come back, and then my monitor, my main monitor, was forced to like 1028 resolution, and I don't know why. And I was like literally freaking. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna end everything. And I ended up fixing everything before the initial meet time, so it was fine. But I was like really stressed out that I wouldn't fix everything before the initial meet time. Also, I'm gonna go to hell for this, but I'm working, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. But people kept knocking on my door. You know, trick-or-treaters. Trick-or-treaters kept knocking on my door, and I turned like the porch light off. You know, the telltale sign of go away. I don't want to deal with you. the house light is off. Don't come to my door. But people, there's like at least 5 people knocking on my door, and I'm like trying to troubleshoot my PC problems, and people are knocking on my door, and they keep knocking, and then Popo's barking because people are at my door. So I go over there. I'm like, okay, fine. So I go over there with candy, and they're gone every single time. Why? Why do you knock on my door if you're not gonna wait for me to come out there? And then I was like, okay, is it because there's light in my room? So I turned the light in my room off. I didn't want to turn the light in my room off because I wouldn't, I was just like, why? I don't want to. It's like nighttime, and then how am I gonna see anything? But then I was like, okay, because I'm in VR, I think it'll be fine if I turn my headset light off, or like my room light off. And then my my headset is like, we are detecting low light. Make sure to turn on your lights, or you're gonna lose tracking soon. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna cam. I was freaking it so hard. But then stream got pushed back. Not my fault. Not because of my problems, but I was like, oh my god, thank god. When I was really going through it, and I was just like tearing at my hair, going, "Oh my god, I'm gonna canvas," and then they're like, "Oh, sorry guys, we had to delay." I'm like, "Oh, thank god." I was like, "Phew, my goodness." Now I can just sit here and yeah. And then everything ended up working on my end just fine after I went through my trials and tribulations that shouldn't have happened in the first place. I don't even know why it happened. It was so evil. It's evil that why? It was working just fine yesterday. It was. I had it working. I tested it the night before, and then it was supposed to work, and then I did it, and it gave me stress. And then I wanted to play Monster Hunter yesterday night because that's when the beta came out, but it was kind of late, and having the headset on gives me like a little bit of a tension headache. You know, when you take it off, you're like, oh my god, it's like I'm no longer being lobotomized. I can see so clearly now. I can think so clearly now that this headset's not on my forehead anymore. Such a beautiful feeling. And then I laid down, or I engaged in my Twitter round, and then I laid down after I did the Twitter stuff. Fantastic other news is that I asked the gods above, and they said we can post our chibi model ref sheet. So I'll be posting that sooner or later, so you guys can see the really cute chibi model ref sheet. They're really cute. I'm happy. Cece showed hers just now. Fine, I'll show you guys mine right now. I'll share it too then. Hands on my hip. I know where it is. Where is it? Here? Why is this content is no longer available? I literally see it. I can't show you. Why is it broken? This makes no sense. Now Discord is the one freaking it. Okay, can actually show you because it's broken for no reason whatsoever. There is one thing that I noticed is that my Halloween outfit, I don't have a tail. But that's only because I am pranking you. I do have a tail. And I asked them politely to put the tail back in. So please look forward to it. But it was a Halloween prank. It was a trick. But now that Halloween is over, I asked them to put the tail back. So it'll be there.